Fuck you.
Aye, 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 aye. Schwitz, picky, right the fuck up. Told a dirty little bitch to come off my nuts. Baby Schwitz, lifted, something like a truck. I ain't slowing down because I got it out the mud. Every day you're looking around, searching for someone to love, but you never love yourself. How you lost touch of your wealth. I see value in myself. I pick up them bricks and bales, cause these masons, they done made the system off of tipping scales. Tipping the scales, Schwartzy can't fail. I can pull up and just send them to hell. You niggas ain't shitting, you bitches be frail. Schwartzy can't sell while making a sale. Schwartzy ain't caught, he done broke out of jail. Glide on the beat like I'm skating a rail. Catching the head while you catching the tail. Frequency vibes got me checking my mail. I still run shit like the Dimmadome. Baby, I got plenty bone. Send me home, lucky like a rabbit's foot. Soul is black, I bathe in soot. Every day I'm feeling good, but I'm still misunderstood. I could pick up right where I left off. I got the heat, now let me go scout like I play for the Heat. How I'm keeping a ball, these bitches on me, now I'm busting, it's okay. Lil Schwartzy insane, I treat my body just like it's a plane. I got no hobby, the dream getting made. I could pull up with bitches on top of the range. I could pull up with death and go make me a change. I could come through with swords and go chop off your mane. I could keep me a scope that keep you in my range. I told you before, you ain't hear what I say, goddamn. Schwartzy be killing, I get no fucks, a miraculous feeling. Schwartzy came here with immaculate skills and he utilized them to kill peace like a villain. Damn, I can't slow up, wavy as fuck, make a bitch throw up. Counting my bucks, Lil Schwartz blowed up. 40 is tough, let it bust like a nut. Better go duck before you stuck in a rut. I done pulled up with a lighter and a blunt. Got you mixed up, how I'm fucking on your cunt. And I still run the game while I'm hopping out the truck. I said I still run the game when I'm hopping out a truck. I can still run the game when I'm hopping out a truck. Y'all don't know nothing about that. For real, y'all don't know nothing about that. But anyways, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the communication station. Here with your boy Schwartzy in the building. So to preface this video, essentially from the title, y'all get the gist of what we're doing here today. Today, we're going to talk about etymology, basically understanding the root cause of what a word or a letter or a phrase or a terminology or anything like that even mean to begin with. You get what I'm saying? Regardless of when we start to get into division type of tactics and we start to get into separation and duality natures and shit like that, and things start to have multiple interpretations and shit like that before all of that, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about today. And essentially the reason why I'm making this video is to bring some clarity on certain things, because I kind of got to the point now where I got tired of certain individuals coming into my chat and being like, oh, Dolo said this, Dolo said that, da 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 da. Like, and look, this is not me throwing shots at Dolo at all. That man has my utmost respect on a very genuine tip. You get what I'm saying? But I got tired of motherfuckers coming into my chat and talking about, oh, Dolo said this, Dolo said that. Bitch, develop your own perspective first and foremost. You get what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Develop your own perspective first and foremost, because this is the thing, especially if you're a person with a real spiritual sight and you're actually spiritually inclined. You don't need to be relying on people so much in that aspect to the point where now you're sitting in a position where you are only correlating with shit just because it came out of this specific person's mouth. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. This isn't necessarily me throwing shots at these individuals or Dolo himself. Like I said, I got the utmost respect for this motherfucker. He been doing this shit for a long ass time. What I'm coming here to explain to y'all and bring clarity on is the fact that we are all viewing the truth at the exact same time. We just all have our own unique perspective within that truth. So therefore, with that being said, just because my perspective is not exactly like another motherfucker's perspective, that I don't want my perspective to be like any other motherfucker's perspective anyways. Let me make that first and foremost clear as well. You get what I'm saying? I don't want my shit to necessarily look exactly like how somebody else's would. I don't necessarily need to be in a situation where I'm correlating everything and checking back and fucking watching videos 100,000 times to make sure that I'm in alignment with some shit that some other man is doing outside of me. I don't give a, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got the utmost respect for this motherfucker, but I'm not going to spend my time sitting here wasting my time trying to shape up my perspective and fit into whatever another motherfucker's box is, how they square out their circle, how they understand things. You get what I'm saying? That's not the type of time that I'm trying to be on at all. You get what I'm saying? And that's not the type of time that I've ever really been on, to be quite honest with you. I'm just making this clear for the individuals who keep showing up in my chat and want to sit here and basically have debates and argue talking points just based on the fact that Dolo might have said something that might be a little bit contrary, but it don't even be contrary, because whenever I sit here and actually start to explain the shit to y'all, then it's like, oh yeah, we're viewing the same exact thing and it come to the same type of conclusion. You get what I'm saying at the end of the day, but we're just viewing it from our own unique individual perspective. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what this shit is all about. Like I don't know where along the lines in the spiritual community motherfuckers forgot about the individuality and the independence aspect of it. Like I don't know when that happened, and I don't know when people started to develop this follower type of mind state. You get what I'm saying? Because if y'all pay attention, and I'm about to say the same shit y'all be doing, Dolo be telling y'all, be individuals. This shit is about individuality at the end of the day. It's not about you listening to every fucking word that I say and blindly following me, just like you in some religious aspect, just like you in some cult type of aspect, or Satanism, Luciferianism, any of that shit. That's not the type of time I'm on. That's that. And based on the shit that I've seen, that's not the type of time any real motherfuckers is on anyways. You get what I'm saying? They don't want y'all to they want y'all to view the truth in your own way, motherfucker. That's what this shit has always been about. So anyways, you get what I'm saying? Let's actually get into this. So for the etymology aspect, we're going to actually bring up the Microsoft Paint again, and we're going to give y'all some imagery to be able to view this in a little bit more sufficiently. So let's bring up the Microsoft Paint and get to work here. So like I said, y'all lost ass motherfuckers who always need your spiritual daddy, aka Dolo, to tell you what shit is and what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Develop your own mind state, develop your own perspective. You get what I'm saying? View the truth. It's the same truth. It's overall truth. You can't ignore it. This shit come from God. You get what I'm saying? But don't just be following motherfuckers. You have your own viewpoint. You have your own mind. You don't need to be putting people on pedestals. And that's not to say that Dolo, I'm not to diminish his value, not to say that he don't deserve praise or anything like that. He deserves his flowers just as much as any of us do. You get what I'm saying? Due to the amount of work that he's put in it and consistency. You get what I'm saying? But this is just for y'all. I feel like I keep getting lost motherfuckers up in here who be on some weird shit and low key just want to kind of refute whatever it is I'm talking about, just for the sake of Dolo might have said some shit that was viewing the exact same thing and in a different type of manner. So fuck, our goddamn Microsoft Paint ain't working. Did this shit exactly last time too. So we gonna have to, y'all give me a couple seconds. What's up? And my sister wanted me to tell y'all, shout out to her for doing my hair today. Fucking she hooked me up with the space buns. Fucking Princess Leia in the building. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to bed. So. Going to bed? You're tired? Yeah, I don't feel good. Okay. Well, good night.
If I'm awake when you get off live, I might come in here for a little bit.
Okay.
But I don't know if I will be.
Okay, I got you.
Do you want me to leave this door open and leave my door open, turn the heat on?
No, I'm literally burning the fuck up right now, so I'm straight on heat at the moment, completely.
Okay. I freaking burnt the fart on my leg, and I feel like I'm walking like...
Walking like a chicken.
Yeah, I'm walking like this. You should see me walking up instead of like... Because I'm trying not to like... smack my legs together.
You fucking chafing out here. You goddamn been on the trampoline all day chafing this shit. Old fucking greasy, old fucking dry, need some ashy kneecaps, fucking legs rubbing together and shit. You need some cocoa butter on them hoes, baby. I'm trying here, y'all. Yeah, you fucking, if y'all have watched any of my previous Microsoft Paint fucking episodes, y'all already know that the Microsoft Paint be being weird. I'm pressing share on the studio shit. as far as the live stream, but it just don't want to be showing it sometimes. So I gotta fucking run this hoe back a few times and fucking get it to correlate in a correct type of aspect. Why? Oh, it worked. Okay, let's make sure it's working on the live stream. Okay, we're in the painter space now. Okay, so guys, now we're gonna break down etymology. You get what I'm saying? So etymology at the root is when these motherfuckers were actually starting to construct words and languages out of things. It all goes back to the builders and the masons and how they were attempting to square out the circle, aka make logic and reasoning out of and trying to understand everything. You get what I'm saying? So they started to develop certain mind states off of this that actually bend it in on itself and became something that can be manifested down here. And that's how now you see a letter even being drawn. So let's get that first and foremost. You get what I'm saying? What they was doing was attempting to square out the circle. You get what I'm saying? And now my real spiritual practitioners, you will know that whenever you're on your own travels, if you square out the circle in the right type of aspect, you can develop all these angles on the inside of the circle right here. But eventually you're going to get to the point where if you do it in the correct type of aspect, and if you square out in the right type of way, when you square it out, it's just going to go back to nothingness at the end of the day. The more and more you square, and this is what the masons and shit don't understand. The more and more that they try to make shit look like something, and the more and more that they try to understand and bring logic and reasoning in and shit like that, it's the more and more that it just come back to making a circle, and it just come back to be more being more fluid movement, and it always come back to being nothing again. So they can try to make this shit appear like something all they want to. You get what I'm saying? But eventually it's going to come to a perspective, because think about it. When you sit here and you add a bunch of squares to the inside of this circle, you get what I'm saying? If we're doing it in the correct type of aspect, if I sit here and add squares into this circle right here, and I continue to do this, and say, for example, I take this square right here. Oh, fuck, it ain't working now. Shit, let's go back real quick. Okay, so if I take this square right here and I bring it out to the four corners, you get what I'm saying, of this so-called circle right here. You get what I'm saying? Now, if I take this, I can't copy it, you fucking dirty bitch. You really not gonna let me copy this shit? That's not what we wanted at all. Bring it back to there. Okay, it's not giving me the opportunity to fucking show you guys what I'm trying to show you. But essentially what I'm getting at here is this. When you add more and more squares to this circle, you get what I'm saying? Not in this type of aspect like this though. Like if all these squares were within the middle right here were the same size as that first square that I drew, just this one. Now if I begin to tilt this square and bring a new angle to it. So for example, this square here will be centered in the middle, right? But if I shift all these angles slightly to the left, and the whole square shift to the left, you continuously do that and overlap it, yeah, you're gonna have a bunch of squares and angles that are gonna cross through the middle right there. But eventually it's gonna get to a perspective where it continuously just continue to make a fucking circle. You get what I'm saying? Like, obviously, as you can see in the paint, like these fucking angles ain't touching at the top, so it's not exactly perfect that I'm showing y'all right now. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the more that you rotate that, it fits within the circle. The more you rotate that, all you're gonna have is a bunch of angles and squared out shit within the circle. You're gonna have those angles crossing through it, but you could square it out so much to the point where I could remove this outer circle and just have those squares there. And the shape that you're going to see on the outer ring of all those squares is going to be another motherfucking circle, bitch. It's not going to be a fucking octagon. It's not going to be anything with any type of squared angle out type of anything in it. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, it's still going to have those angles crossing through it and shit like that. But the points on the end, the right angles of what make up a square. Those points on the end, they're going to stack one on one on top of each other every time you slightly shift it and slightly continue to shift it, and it's just going to build another circle, another formulation of a circle. It's just going to be curvature. That's all it's going to be. The angles in the middle don't really matter so much. You get what I'm saying? But that's just your own logic and reasoning and your understanding, and however you may develop shit. That's where this come from. You get what I'm saying? This is frequency and vibration shit we're talking about here. My real spiritual practitioners, y'all are going to know what I'm talking about. Motherfuckers who are lost and still following other individuals, you might have to go check in on somebody else's content page or go and watch somebody else's YouTube channel to realize that what the fuck I'm saying right now is the realest shit you ever gonna understand in your life. So let's continue on with that. All right. Now let's remove this square from the middle. Now, whenever they were making lettering systems, right? Like I told y'all, it's another formulation of squaring out this circle and bringing logic and reasoning and understanding to them of what they couldn't understand, which would be the feminine nature, the dark, the mysterious, that shit. You get what I'm saying? The dark, the depth, the water, the flow, the you get what I'm saying? That's what this shit all break down to. So let me show y'all that I know what I'm talking about real quick. So we go and draw a straight line, and I'm going to start with the letter M just because this is referring back to some shit that I was breaking down the other night whenever we get into the Archangel Michael archetype and shit like that. So whenever they were developing that M concept, okay? Let's draw the fucking M and make sure it looks proper. Now this is what we're viewing, right? This is what we're viewing, right? as far as concept. So now when we start to get into how before this, but before they started making a lettering system and shit like this, what was they doing? They were trying to get a understanding, gain logic and reasoning over their own internal natures. That's where this shit all come from. Whenever they was trying to understand what was going on within themselves and shit like that. So that's whenever they developed these concepts like opposition, left hand path, and shit like that. And then they developed certain other concepts like righteousness, right hand path, moving to the right. Whenever they started to square out the circle and even came up with a concept of north, south, east, and west as far as a compass rose, that is what this shit is actually based upon. It's based upon them creating a directional mapping system within themselves, and then it became something that is now outwardly shown, and now they can utilize this directioning system, and whenever they're on a certain landmass and whatever continent they're on and trying to take over at the moment, now they know what space they need to be with directionally within themselves. That way they can move within that environment in a more sufficient manner and be able to take over your land and take the shit away from the natives, or go to Spain and take their shit, or go to France and take their shit. Or you get what I'm saying? That's where Catholicism, like whenever we start to get into the Crusades and shit like that, whenever these motherfuckers were getting up in knight armor and shit like that and going and slaying a whole bunch of motherfuckers, and if you don't believe in our God, then you die and your whole village get burnt down and all this type of shit, and all your crops get taken and all your women get fucked and raped, and we gonna turn your little boys into soldiers, and we gonna turn your little girls into housewives and shit like that. That's where this concept is actually based off of. You get what I'm saying? So like I said, before they started squaring out the circle to the point they were actually wanting to make letters and language and be able to convey these messages as far as internal directioning systems outwardly. That's where this all comes from. It comes from them developing their internal direction. First and foremost, I just want to say fuck you, shadow government, because number one, the moment I some real shit, as soon as I start uncovering y'all secrets is the moment my shit start bugging on me. Come on now, come on now. We see y'all know, we know what y'all doing. We know y'all in here watching us, bro. Come on, stop fucking with the connection, bro. We got 3 people in here. When y'all let me know that I'm actually back on here and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go and look at my phone, tell if I'm where I actually left off at, because there's goddamn no telling when the internet actually cut out, when I actually got disconnected, anything like that. So I appreciate it, Kyrie. We about to get in on this, get back in on they ass real quick. You know what I'm saying? We about to get right back in on they ass real quick. I'm just gonna check my live stream progress to see where exactly I fucking left off at. And I'll go with this is the moment it all comes from. It comes from them developing their internal direction and be able to convey these messages as far as internal directioning systems outwardly. That's where this all comes from. It comes from them developing their internal direction. Okay, so it pretty much got all of what I was saying. You know, even though y'all tried to sit here and disconnect me from the internet, even though y'all tried to fuck up my broadcast and shit like that, it ain't even work anyways. Like y'all was too little, too late, and I've already got this shit organized in my mind. So y'all think y'all knocked me off some type of pivot? Like shit, I'm fucking sitting here laughing at y'all. Y'all motherfuckers are weak. Suck a double-sided dick, bitch. But anyways, let's get back into this. Like I said, what they were doing back then was utilizing the internal directioning system and how they correlate their thoughts and feelings and shit like that. And when they started to get beyond the point of just utilizing body language and shit like that, now they wanted to have some type of spell to go with the ritual and shit like that. Now they can convey that internal feeling or that direction where they're coming from and shit like that now with terminologies, definitions, sayings, and fucking linguistics and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where all this shit come from in the first place. Like I said, it's the concept of squaring out the circle and your internal directioning system, right? So let's get into the Archangel Michael concept, right? And just the letter M in general. You get what I'm saying? Just the letter M in general, because you get what I'm saying. Shit can be fucking taken in a multitude of ways down here. Goddamn, I sit here and say Archangel Michael or some shit. Y'all fucking first thing you do is probably open up a Bible and fucking turn to the first verse that I mentioned Archangel Michael in it or some dumbass shit. So we're not even talking about that. You get what I'm saying? But we're in the circle right now, right? So whenever they started to get grips with their internal directioning system and shit like that, this is when they developed this concept. So if you will take a look and see, and I didn't exactly draw the M correctly, the angle right here in the middle should probably actually be down a little bit more to a more center point, a more balanced center point right here. You get what I'm saying? But y'all will still get the concept in the way that I break this shit down. So whenever we're dealing with this shit, okay, so down, whenever you're down, just think about this shit. Even the way that the words start to manifest and develop, when you're feeling up, when you're feeling down, you get what I'm like. It became a even outward way of speaking a certain vernacular without even people knowing what the fuck they're talking about in the first place. You get what I'm saying? So feeling down, feeling depressed, or being in the sunken place, being under, in the concept of still being in your demiurge, still being in your animalistic natures, shit like that. But if you pay attention, it's not center point in the downward region. So it's not just purely down animalistic. It's not purely that. It also has a tad bit of the western, going left, being opposing, going against a grain type of energy. You get what I'm saying? So it has a percentage level of that as well. So that is where left to right, whenever we're constructing the word, that's where it starts from. That you get what I'm saying? That's where the starting point for this letter is. You get what I'm saying? And it's the concept of getting out of your lower animalistic natures and learning how to rise, learning how to uplift yourself, learning how to feel up, even though you're still not considering that you are in a concept of being opposing, left field. You get what I'm saying? Shit like that. So what do you do from there when you develop that juice, that internal experience that you needed, as far as getting you out of that lower animalistic nature and uplifting yourself and getting out of that downness and depression, whatever fucking type of concept y'all want to kick it as. You get what I'm saying? Whatever concept that was, to get whatever experience you went through to help you learn how to get up out of that. Now it puts you in a position where you're in a more uplifted, a more upright type of position, but you're still in the perspective of being over here in left field, opposing, going against the grain in some type of way. So now what do? You learn that angle, bitch. It makes a fucking angle right here in the top pocket of it. You learn that angle, you learn that perspective, you go through that experience, you develop that wisdom to develop that angle as far as getting yourself back down here to this point, which is a more equilibrium balance state. Like I said, the angle is kind of fucked up. It's not exactly drawn how it should be. The bottom tip of the angle should be more down here in a more centered portion of where the circle actually is at. You get what I'm saying? So that's what you do. You learn that experience, that angle, and you got to learn the farther you climb, the harder you fall and shit like that. But now you're wise about it. You know not to go back down into those depths anymore. You get what I'm saying? So you bring yourself to a more equilibrium state. You get what I'm saying? And learn that, and learn the balance and equilibrium as far as being centered within your own space. And based upon your own perspective and your own travels, you determine where the center point is, bitch. You get what I'm saying? For me, the center point could be right here, directly in the center, as far as objectively speaking. For you, it could be fucking way over here. Your equilibrium could be over here in the right region somewhere. Your equilibrium could be over here in the left region somewhere. It could be up, it could be down. It's just all about perspective and how you're viewing these things. You get what I'm saying? And where you're at and what neighborhood you living in, spiritually speaking and esoterically speaking. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, so you learn that concept of being equilibrium. You get what I'm saying? And you learn your balance point. You learn your center point, right? And then what do? Now you might be so balanced to the point where you feel you develop some type of ego off of that shit. So what do? You uplift yourself again, as far as being too much in uplifting energy, going too high. You get what I'm saying? Because shit, you learn this over here, but it seems as though you didn't learn equilibrium truly. You was just kind of there for a moment and observing shit. So what do? You develop that ego off of your equilibrium. Now you want to climb again. Yeah, now you develop a new angle down here as far as how you're viewing equilibrium. Now you want to climb again and go back up. But this time you're not only going up, you're angling to the fucking right some. So you're now in a more Eastern concept. You're in a more righteous, going to the right, traveling to the right, feeling righteous, right hand path. That's how religion is correlated too. And you know, these motherfuckers be the number one motherfuckers who be acting like they saints on earth and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So, and they can do no wrong type of shit. Even though they still be saying they're fucking sinners and deserve to go to hell and shit like that anyways. But you get what I'm saying? So that's the concept that you're viewing now. You're going up and to the right. So you're uplifting yourself, but while at the same time traveling more to a righteous position. You get what I'm saying? And that can be good or bad. Just take it how you fucking may. You get what I mean? I know how I view it. You motherfuckers need to view it your own goddamn way. I'm not even going to tell you how I view it, bitch. So anyways, when now you come up to this way to the right and be in this more high position, now what's it do? It bring you to a pitfall once again. It bring you in a now you're righteous and you can just be satisfied with being righteous, but look how far you done fell and came back down to those lower animalistic natures, because you're agreeing with certain things as far as like I said, being a saint, being righteous, loving and appreciating all this praise and all this shit that you might get from being a quote unquote righteous individual, or being good and benevolent and doing no harm to others and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? But it show you that you're still in animalistic natures, due to the fact that now it puts you in a position now where you desire that shit. Now you want the praise. Now you're damn near expecting it. Now you feel like this is something you owed and shit like that. And it developed like that. But you always can get back to this equilibrium point. I'm just showing you the concept as far as how they were constructing it, and how this as an internal travel would play out for you in your day-to-day life and shit like that, and how it would actually manifest if you don't like chop it right here at the equilibrium. You get what I'm saying? And then want to be in a concept where now you want to fucking travel up high angles and shit like that, and fucking want to be in some overarching fucking righteous type of concept, thinking that now you view the world better than everyone else does, and now everyone needs to be sucking your dick in some type of way, and praising your intellectual property in some type of way. You get what I'm saying? This is what this shit is about, y'all. This is what this shit is about. Okay, so now let's give y'all another perspective of it, because somebody came in here the other day and they was talking about this Archangel Michael concept and was telling me about the way that Dolo perceive it. You get what I'm saying? And I told y'all motherfuckers I was gonna make a video about this shit. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna explain where we coming from with that. Okay. So let's erase all of this shit. Okay. Maybe I could have rotated the whole thing. Hold on. Let's see if I can rotate the whole thing. You're not gonna let me rotate it, ho? Okay. All right, it's not gonna let me rotate it. So what we're gonna do is this. We'll try to fucking draw it correctly. Okay, I had to turn my fucking head sideways for that shit. You get what I'm saying? But okay, so whenever we start to talk about specifically the Archangel Michael archetype, okay, and that energy, you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit down here on Earth that is perceived and misconstrued in the exact same type of ways. So, based upon my viewpoint and how I'm viewing this shit, I view the M in a different type of way. You get what I'm saying? And it's more akin to how I've explained it in my previous videos and more of what I just now explained to y'all. You get what I'm saying? So with this concept as well, this is how Dolo be explaining it as a internal travel based upon how the shit actually gets manifested down here. So like I've told y'all before, even if you look closely, it damn near resemble a E more than it resemble or not a E, a 3, which essentially is a E flip backwards. So it's essentially the same exact shit. But if you pay attention, the two angles that stretch the farthest go to the right region. They go to the Eastern concept. You get what I'm saying? So this is how the world plays out the Archangel Michael energy and how the Masons constructed people to play out this energy and view this energy. And he's explaining that to y'all based upon my view. You get what I'm saying? Based upon the travels that I've went through. You get what I'm saying? And knowing this Archangel Michael energy more than I know anything else. You get what I'm saying? So this is how it actually plays out. So you're coming from the west, you're coming from the left, completely left field, but you're still in a more upright position already. That's how it would start off. It would start off over here. You get what I'm saying? Going up, well, not really up, going to the right. You get what I'm saying? Directly across that line. And just going from wherever your starting point is over here on the left, like I said, your left opposition, going against the grain type of emotion and feeling. That's where your starting point is, and it's also uplifted as well. It's not in the lower region. It's not below the horizon. It's not in the sunken place, and it's not at an equilibrium state either. It's more upperness. You get what I'm saying? So it come from there and it make a straight direct path. Obviously, my line's not straight, and I'm not gonna sit here and take the time to fucking draw the shit perfectly straight. But you get what I'm saying? It come from that concept and go straight across over to the right region. So you're comfortable with where you're at as far as your uppityness, as far as your feeling up, being up, uplifting type of shit. You're feeling comfortable with that, but you want to learn more about being righteous now. So you go over here to this right concept. You go over here to this Eastern concept. You go over here to this righteousness concept. And that's what 99% of the world be in. You get what I'm saying? When they can't understand themselves, even if they are in an uplifted perspective, when they're feeling like they're in left field at odds with their self or at odds with the world, the first thing that they want to do 9 times out of 10, based on the nature of the spirit, the nature of the human and shit like that, is immediately go and try to be righteous now and understand that. You get what I'm saying? When you're feeling at odds with the world, feeling like damn near, when we're talking about opposition, damn near, and as far as an internal travel, it can manifest as feelings of you feeling like you're doing something wrong, when you might not even necessarily be doing anything wrong. It's just the space that you've put yourself at, and the automatic disposition that you have mentally and emotionally, just due to you being over here in this fucking space. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times people will develop feeling like they need to be righteous. You get what I'm saying? And shit, damn near I'd rather feel at odds with the world. Damn near I'd rather feel like I'm doing something wrong rather than being over here in a perspective of feeling like I'm too righteous. So, and that's just based upon my own travel. So if y'all even look at the concept of this as far as what we're talking about as an internal travel, when you start to go towards that righteousness shit, what does it do? It puts you in a perspective where you develop the wisdom and experience necessary to develop that angle right here at the top. And what does it do? It brings you right back to the fucking equilibrium, right in the middle. That's where that's what probably Uriel taught you over here when you were in the left anyways, and you forgot about it and you started getting washed by all those emotions and feelings, feeling like you being left field, being like you feeling like you being at odds. So fuck, what do you want to do? You want to run over here and be righteous real quick. But what does it do? It always drag you back to the left. It always drag you down into a position of being more equilibrium, and not fucking trying to feel like you need to be righteous and be all agreeable with the world and extremely relatable energy and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? And think about it. Like I said, righteousness, and then it developed to me even be saying relatable. It starts with a fucking R. You get what I'm saying? So y'all just pay attention to this shit. Like what I'm telling y'all right now is fucking overall truth. And everyone is just viewing this same exact truth. They're just viewing it in a different way. And how people explain the shit to you might not even be how they're viewing it. A lot of times it just be how the world has correlated with this energy, or how it has been designed for the world to view it, or just how people are playing it out now as a concept. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, it brings you back to that equilibrium state. But what did it do as well? It drug you down. So you're at equilibrium, but that path of you traveling to get to equilibrium was a downward angle. You get what I'm saying? So it puts you in a concept of feeling like you were down. So you feel like you need to be more righteous once again and go back to the motherfucking right off of that angle, and what you're learning and being a fool and being retarded and shit like that. So what do? You go back to the right and feel like you need to be righteous again, because the equilibrium wasn't enough for you. Now you want to be always feeling something. You always want to be filling that hole, filling that void. And that's why people do a lot of drugs and be so obsessed with money and shit like that. But that's besides the point. We're just looking at this concept right now. So what now you bring yourself back down again because you feel like you need to be righteous. You get what I'm saying? And what does that do? These two top angles are the most revealing factors. That's what you need to take into consideration, as well as the angles that it construct as far as an internal directioning system. You get what I mean? And correlating your emotions and feelings and shit like that. So what it does, it brings you over here to the right again, feeling all righteous, but it drug you down in the process. So what do you need to do now? You need to fucking run back over here to the left, to the west. This is where your starting point was anyways. You get what I'm saying? So you need to be back over here in the west once again, so you can learn that. And now you can create some other type of letter. You can create some other path of travel. You can create some other type of expression. You get what I'm saying? And this shit plays out in a multitude of ways. I'm just giving guys the just one aspect of it. I gave y'all one letter. You know what I'm saying? I could sit here and go through the whole alphabet and sit here and go through each number and each symbol and everything. All it is a internal travel that then can be constructed to draw some formulation of an expression. That way now we have something to look at to represent what that travel is and what it means and shit like that. That's what we're actually viewing. That's what this shit actually is. That's where all these concepts come from, and everything else based off of it is just subsidiaries. That's why nobody can understand this shit. That's why nobody understands what a person even be telling them half the time, because there's so many different ways to interpret everything, and it starts to get all mixed and mingled and shit like that. The more symbols they started creating, the more lettering systems they started creating and putting these things together to create words and terminologies and language and shit, the more that it gets mixed up. Because a person back in the day could have just put the letter M on a fucking building, or a certain letter or a symbol at the beginning of their town. And when a motherfucker roll into town and see that symbol or that letter etched on top of the building or at the beginning of the town, they already know what type of travels the people in this area has been through. They already know what type of emotions and feelings they're going to be dealing with. They already know the tide and the pool and the fucking water and the ocean and how to catch this wave and how to surf and shit like that. When we get into speaking metaphysically and metaphorically and allegorically, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is what this shit actually is. You know what I'm saying? But everything else that has became like a branch off of it, even to the point to the words that I'm saying to y'all right now. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you got to break it down letter to letter. You get what I'm saying? You got to break it down letter to letter. And the more that you can understand each travel and play that out in your own way and develop your own perspective and your own wisdom and experience off of that, now you know what letters to not even involve yourself with. Now you know what words to not let come out of your mouth, because you know it puts you in a disposition that's not desirable to you as far as mentally and emotionally. It puts you in a space that you don't want to deal with. You get what I'm saying? Just like I told y'all before, you can sit in your fucking bedroom, turn off all your lights, clear your mind out completely, clear your emotions and feelings out completely, stop thinking about all the shit that you've seen throughout the day. You get what I'm saying? And sit down in your bedroom with your lights off and sit here and say different words to yourself. Say depression over and over again. Tell me you don't start feeling depressed. Say anxiety over and over again to yourself. Tell me you don't start feeling anxiety. Now, put it in a positive aspect. Put it in something that's more desirable to you. You start saying those words. Tell me you don't start feeling more uplifted. Tell me you don't start feeling more happy. Tell me you don't start feeling more free. Tell me you don't start feeling more light and weight. Bitch, this is the fucking real understanding for y'all. Just the most important piece of the message is develop your own experience off of it. Go through these travels as an internal experience for yourself so that you have an understanding of them, to the point where you don't even need to come into my chat and sit here and try to debate me about some shit that somebody else said who went through the exact same travel and is observing the exact same shit. They're just telling you the same thing from their perspective. You get what I'm saying? Don't be lost in being follower type shit. Don't be lost in trying to feel like you have some authority or mental authority that you can flex now just because you're regurgitating information that you learned from somebody else. And a person who would even come outside their mouth to say some shit like that in the first place is somebody who hasn't went through these internal travels, somebody who hasn't went through these experiences, someone who hasn't squared out their space enough to the point where they get back to a circle and they get back to nothingness and realize, okay, all this shit, like, I understand everything now. You get what I'm saying? I understand everything now. I don't like, I have my own perspective. I've developed my own viewpoint. I see things from my own space. I have my own soul, my individual spirit, my solo spirit. I have it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't lie. I can't lie. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Just develop your own shit where you're not in a position of relying on anybody else. And you can understand everything you're dealing with. Because when you really start to get into this shit, you can peep a person's level of wisdom and experience and what type of internal travels that they've went through. So whenever they come outside their mouth and express certain things, then you can start to realize even more where this person is coming from and what type of space they're in. Because you can be like, okay, based upon the space that this person is in, they didn't even have no choice but to come out their mouth and say it in that type of manner and utilize these certain type of words and phrases and terminology. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is when you'll start to see things very fucking clearly, and you'll know exactly where somebody's coming from. And you know, shit, you damn near probably already been to that neighborhood if you a real motherfucker who's really explorative and shit like that, and just do shit for experience and shit like that. Shit, some of these neighborhoods you probably done been to and shit. You done lived there for a short period of time. You done lived in the crack houses and the trap houses with having fucking roaches and bed bugs at the same time and shit. You know what I'm like? You done been to these neighborhoods. You don't want to go back there. You know what I'm saying? So now when a person is expressing themselves to you, Now you're like, okay, I see. I see exactly where you're coming from now. And I see how you had no choice but to say it in that particular type of way. I'm stealing my sister's drink. She ain't coming for it. Oh, God. Zero sugar Fanta. Ugh. Soon as they start putting fake sugar and shit, as soon as they start labeling shit diet drinks and shit, oh God, they took all the flavor out of everything, bro. Oh God, they took all the flavor out of everything. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. That's essentially all I have for y'all. I just wanted to let y'all know a few things and at least show y'all one letter on the etymology side of things and at least give y'all a perspective. That way I ain't got to show you every letter in the alphabet for you to be able to understand what the fuck is going on. You get what I'm saying? So I will though, if y'all really want it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just comment in my chat and let me know. If y'all want a video like that where I actually sit here and break down every single letter and the internal travel and how it plays out and shit like that, y'all just let me know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all just let me know. Especially when we start to get into letters that have a curvature to them and shit like that, like the letter C and the letter U and the letter B, the number 8 and shit like that. When we start to get into shit that has a little bit of curvature to it, you know what I'm saying? But shit, if y'all just take the perspective, you know what I'm saying, and y'all just extract the wisdom and knowledge out of what I'm saying, y'all will be able to do this on y'all's own time. But if there's enough ignorant people who come in my chat and just really don't know and really want me to break it down, you know what I'm saying? Like I will make a video like that. Like if y'all really need it type shit, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I feel like I gave the world enough information with what I've already broken down to be able to do that on y'all's own. I don't think that y'all necessarily need me for that. But if y'all do, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Maybe I'm giving the world too much grace, you know. I don't know. But this is a very important video. Like this one need to be fucking shared with everybody. This shit need to be shared with everybody because it's too late in the game now. Y'all either got to catch up on y'all's own time or be continuously perpetuating nonsense. That's y'all's only two options. Catch up now while you still have a little bit of a chance, or be lost forever. That's the only two choices y'all have now. It's too late in the game. Shit has already, like, we already been in this space. Some of us been in this space 10, 15 years, bro. You get what I'm saying? Some of us have been in this space 10, 15 years. It's already too late in the game. We already got all of our heads. You know what I'm saying? We got all of our faces. We got, like, it's too late in the game. Y'all need to pick up y'all's own slack on y'all's own time. That way, if you want to get to point B, C, D, and F, instead of just staying at point A and shit like that, if you want to get to those points, learn from us. But at the same time, take into consideration everything I'm saying. Be an individual. Stop coming into my chat on weird shit and telling me how other people are viewing shit and how do you view it? You know, if you have something to say, tell me how you view it. Don't come outside your mouth telling me how another motherfucking man viewed the shit. You know what I'm saying? If you have anything to say how you view it. Like that's the type of shit that we really should be on. Even if we are gonna have small disagreements, or you know what I'm saying, or where maybe perspectives might clash a little bit and shit like that in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. Y'all be regurgitating other people's perspectives and thinking that they clash just based upon your perspective of how you're viewing what I'm saying right now and your perspective on how you viewed what this other motherfucker was saying right now. And now you're sitting back thinking that these perspectives clash in some type of way, but really, just like how I had no choice. I had no choice but to express it that way. It don't clash. It mend together. It fit together perfectly. It's all a piece of the puzzle. Like I told y'all, we are all viewing the truth. We are all viewing overall truth. We're in the space of all possibilities. we just have no choice. We're individuals. We're going to be seeing it from different angles. I can't see it through your eyes, and you can't expect me to sit here and see it through your eyes. Even though, we have the ability to see things from other people's perspectives, but you can't necessarily expect me to adopt another motherfucker's perspective just based upon, this person having a little bit of prevalence or a little bit of influence or a little bit of whatever the fuck it may be. I've been through my own travels. I've been through my own experience and wisdom to develop what I have going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a real spiritual space. I have my own rituals and spells. I have all my own shit. Like, I'm not, man, man. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all right now. So you wasting your time coming in here telling me about how some other motherfucker view shit. And like I said, I'm not throwing shots at anybody. And like I said, the individuals that I've named in this video, I have the utmost respect for. You get what I'm saying? It's just when y'all people who be even in a perspective, if you got a high level of self-worth and self-value and you feel like you are a great strong spirit and shit like that, why the fuck are you coming in my chat playing out lesser spirit energies? You know what I'm saying? Now you're being inconsistent. Now you're not like, you're not, you get what I'm saying? You're being inconsistent now. Keep the line, don't let the lines get blurred. Keep everything congruent. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Got to have our own minds at the end of the day. Right. Exactly. We all have our own travels. You can't be sitting here hijacking wisdom and experience from somebody. And the biggest fucked up thing about it is y'all will be sitting here speaking on certain shit and regurgitating information, and you don't even understand the shit for yourself. And it's very fucking clear and very plain to see based upon your level of lacking in wisdom and experience. It's very plain to see. That's why a lot of y'all barely even upload on the internet. Y'all barely even show your face. Y'all damn near too embarrassed to even pop out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about nobody specifically. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying this has been an ongoing thing. This has been something I've been observing since damn near the moment my channel dropped. Actually, before the moment my channel dropped. Just whenever I'm speaking on my own perspective and shit that I'm realizing and shit like that, all of a sudden here goes somebody telling me, oh, well, this person said this and this person said this. Like, okay, even if I respect this motherfucker, I don't give a fuck about that, bitch. I learn from my own experiences. I don't learn from another man's experiences. That make me a bitch. That sound like some bitch shit to me. That sound like some hoe shit to me. That sound like I'm being pimped out in some type of way on a spiritual level. Y'all wouldn't even know what the fuck I mean when I say some shit like that. LOL, like why people can't agree to disagree on Twitter. Right. I mean, yeah, even if it play out on some mundane shit, like, yeah. We can't, a person could never fathom the concept of two things being completely contradictory, but both being true at the exact same time. So we can be sitting here and arguing about some shit all day. Bitch, what if we're both right? Like, seriously. Because when we're speaking, when we start to speak objectively, as far as how they want to view things, objectively in reality and shit like that, depending upon the circumstance and situation, there can be a multitude of levels of layers of truth. There could be multiple ways of doing the right thing in situations. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, we could be sitting here arguing with each other all day. Bitch, we both could be right, depending upon the situation. And this is the thing too. Everybody down here is just doing the best they can with what they have at the moment, whether that be a level of knowledge, whether that be a level of wisdom, whether that be a level of experience, whether that be a level of intelligence, emotional maturity, whatever the fuck it may be. We're all doing the best with what we have at the moment. So a person dealing with a certain level of experience and wisdom in a certain facet of reality might have went through certain experiences to develop themselves to come to a certain conclusion about a circumstance and situation. But that's their perspective based upon how much they've dealt with that, the level of experience that they have within that. Now there's another person who could be doing the exact same shit. Their wisdom ain't caught up, or they just they've just went through the exact same situation and it just played out in a different type of way. So they came to a different conclusion about it. But still, both of y'all are right. And you know, in your own today, the shit worked for you in this certain type of manner. But this person, they know on their today, if they were to do this shit, it would fuck their whole life up. And if they go about it in the way that they've been going about it, they see the results of how that is more prosperous for them. Two things can be completely contradictory, but still remain true at the exact same fucking time. Most of the world cannot even fathom that. I told that to a person one time, and the motherfucker got mad at me. A motherfucker got mad at me because they didn't understand it. And they're like, that doesn't even make any sense. How the fuck, like, how is that even possible? But it's true. Like, it's very fucking true. But anyways, y'all know me. I ain't gonna get too fucking long-winded on this bitch, unless y'all just want to chop it up. If y'all got, you know what I'm saying? If I'll sit here for a couple minutes and give y'all a chance possibly to say some shit, add on to it. Fucking, I'm not really prepared to do any open panel shit or anything like that. So if y'all just want to type in the chat for the moment, you know what I'm saying? I'll wait. I guess this last 3 minutes, let the video get up to an hour. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all got anything to add on, any questions, comments, want to get a hold of me in some type of way, like I said, my door is still open for collabs. My door is still open for consultations, chart readings, tarot card readings, whatever the fuck it is that you need to help figure out your circumstances, situation. And if you feeling stuck and you don't know where to go from here and shit like that, I got you, bitch. Just hit me up on the IG or the email. All that shit's in the description. And let's get to these chats we missed. Shout out Kyrie. He said force with the 3 fire signs and shit. Yeah, we in Sag season, so that seemed about appropriate. You know what I'm saying? Then we got Gross Solomon saying I see you. Yeah, I see you too, bro. Thanks for showing up and shit. I read your chat initially, and then we got Jackie New in here, and we also got Mooney Mercury baby in here. I don't recognize any other content creators in here per se, so whenever we get down to Jackie New and Mooney Mercury baby, y'all click on their names in the chat. Go subscribe to them right now. That they do shit. They do their own shit. They got their own minds. They got their own ways of perspectives and their own ways of coming to grips with internal travels. They got their own ways of squaring out the circle all the way to the point it come back to just being a motherfucking circle again, bitch. The shit we've been talking about here today. You know what I'm saying? These people got a great understanding of life and the world, just like I do. You know what I'm saying? So go subscribe to these motherfuckers if you want some more similar content and you like watching shit like this and you want to expand your mind a little bit more. Having our own minds is not even selfish. Fuck, it's self-care because our minds is our first bodies. Right. Exactly. That's one of the first cloths that we put onto ourselves as a spirit. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out Kyrie. You know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? He know what he's talking about. So yeah, you want to be, that's like, for example, right? Okay. So say, for example, you could have your own house, right? And you could correlate it any type of way you want to. You could decorate it however you want to, right? And you could have posters all over the wall. You could have fucking whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? But instead of doing that, you would rather go live in this other person's house who, like I said, got roaches and bed bugs at the same time. This person don't ever clean up. This person don't ever do the dishes. You don't even want to be in that type of mind. You don't even want to be in that type of house. That's like he said, it's our first bodies. That's our first form of cloth. So that you are damn near going into a container whenever you even are in that type of concept. So how do you want that to be decorated? What do you want the walls to look like? You know what I'm saying? Do you want your paintings to be hung up everywhere and your plaques and records from how many millions of songs you've sold and shit? And once again, we're speaking allegorically, metaphorically, metaphysically right now. This isn't per se reality, but you get what I'm saying. Do you want it lined up with all your artwork, the shit that you've drawn, the plaques and accolades that you have, and the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Or do you want your space to be developed off of a whole bunch of shit where you praising somebody else? You get what I'm saying? and you sitting here always talking about what somebody else doing or what somebody else is saying or what this political figure said or what Jesus said when he was quote unquote alive or what your pastor said or all this other shit. And all that do is lead to depression. That's why we got a million people out here fucking killing themselves every day and shit like that. And that's why even in the town that I live in now, that's why we got people doing all type of fucked up shit, shooting up goddamn pills into their goddamn vein system and shit. Got motherfuckers breaking down pills and putting them on aluminum foil and smoking pills and smoking meth and fucking being all strung out on heroin and shit like that. That's all it lead to, because you don't know how to entertain yourself. You're always stuck in a perspective where you need something outside of yourself to entertain you. So what do these people do? They get bored. That you have no way to entertain yourself or keep yourself motivated or keep yourself disciplined or keep yourself juiced up internally. You don't have no type of that shit. You're in the sunken place. Your soul has been sold, bought and purchased, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You in the cage somewhere with the key fucking tied around your ankle and you don't even realize it's sitting right there. You could just get out at any moment. You know what I'm saying? So people will be in these type of perspectives, and then what? Like I said, what do? They get really bored because they have no way to entertain themselves. So they always have to be grabbing onto something, even if it's not like a drug addict or something like that. I'm just using that as an example because that's like majority prevalence of the area that I'm living in right now. We got a bunch of fucking drug addicts, a bunch of fucking everyone I went to school with is goddamn strung out, walking the streets, fucking track marks all on their arms and veins all blown out and shit like that. That's what's prevalent in my area. You get what I'm saying? So what they do is they'll start with some small shit. Even if they're not a drug addict, they always got to have a video game going. They always got to have, you know what I'm saying? They never make no unique content. They never show their face on the internet. They never start making music. They never start utilizing artwork or any type of charismatic gift and talent to keep themselves going and shit like that and entertain themselves. Even if they're sitting in the house, they ain't even got power at the moment. They still, you know what I'm saying? They still can't even entertain themselves within their own mind and shit like that. They're always leaning on somebody else's system. So they'll start with the small shit, video games all the time, fucking maybe even needing to like go out to like baseball games, needing to go to church every Sunday if they're not a drug addict or not a Christian person or something like that. Always needing something to look at, something to do, something to occupy their mind, because when they get back to thinking and being by themselves, all it is depression, a whole bunch of doubt and fucking grief and anxiety and bringing a motherfucker down type of energy, because they're in tap with a bunch of fucking leeches and spiritual demons and shit like that, and a bunch of soul tribes that don't fuck with their spiritual family, who is just constantly dragging them down a dark pit and leading them off a cliff somewhere. So that, like I said, they'll start with that small shit, but eventually it'll develop into a worser degree. So if they're not a drug addict or something like that, is a person who need to constantly be smoking weed all hours of the day, and not in a right type of way, and not in a good type of way, and not in a healthy type of way, more of a like subsiding their depression, utilizing it to heal their anxiety, utilizing it to keep their appetite up and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it'll develop into that. And then majority of people in my area, they'll let it develop it into now they ain't handling their responsibilities. Now they're fucking, like I said, shooting up dope, smoking pills off the foil, fucking smoking methamphetamines, goddamn shooting up heroin, all types of shit. That's where all this shit come from. And if they're not a drug addict, shit, they can have the best job in the world, they can have the best parents in the world, they can have the best support system in the world. What they gonna do? These people end up killing themselves, or they need to always be medicinally supplemented, as far as going to the doctor and getting some pharmaceutical pills to tell you have depression and anxiety, and now you need to take this pill and fucking 50 milligrams a week and you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's so simple, but people don't know anything else but seeking external highs. There's a lot of people that don't even know how to meditate. Right. And a lot of y'all, just based on me sitting here reading the word fucking meditate off of the page, now you thinking that meditating is sitting here and saying a bunch of affirmations in your mind, or focusing on one thing, or visualizing on your future, or fucking all these other different type of concepts, or sitting here and repeating this fucking om type of shit, and holding your goddamn hands in these different type of fucking symbolisms and shit like that. Like, no, that's not even what the fuck we're talking about. We're just talking about clarity. We're talking about clairvoyance, being clear-minded, right? Even to the point where you remove emotions and feelings to a certain degree. You get what I'm saying? You don't allow those muddy waters to develop, and don't allow shit to be stagnant to the point where it start to develop mold and algae and shit like that. Once again, we're speaking metaphorically, we're speaking allegorically at the moment. You get what I'm saying? But not allowing your waters to be too stagnant to the point they start to develop mold, and not letting them crash and be all over the place to the point where now you can't have no type of settling, calm waters and shit like that. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about being extremely, completely clear. And then that is the point whenever you will start to have clear, true perspectives. Because when you start to step out into the world, you're going to carry that cloth. It's like putting a cloak on yourself. That the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter and shit like that. It's like putting that shit on you. You know what I'm saying? And now whenever you go out into the world and you actually start to experience shit, as far as the etymology, when I broke down the internal travel and shit like that, all the way to the point you're going through external travels and now actually having experiences in the third dimension and shit like that. Now you're at clarity. Now you're clairvoyant. Now you can actually see what is going on beyond you just being blinded into what you're seeing with your own two eyes and shit like that. You'll be so clear within yourself. You'll damn near, and I know this shit sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? I know this shit sound crazy to the majority of the world. I know this shit sound insane. But that's the point when you can become a psychic. You get what I'm saying? Like, and don't take that literally in the definition of how y'all see most weak ass psychics play out down here on earth. But at that point, when you're at that clairvoyant state, you can literally become a psychic to the point where now you're able to pick up on the shit that is going on behind the scenes. You can pick up on your own ways of feeling about shit, how you view other people might be feeling it at the same time. And then on top of that, what it actually is. You get what I'm saying? So you'll be able to see the fallacy. You'll be able to see the falsified documents of how you construct it and how you might view what you think this person is doing and shit like that. And now you're clairvoyant enough to shift that and get yourself up out of that paradigm as far as how your ego or your perspective might view that at the moment, and then actually be able to see what's really going on at the same time. This is like he said, it's so simple. It really is so simple, but due to the language and terminology, like this shit sounds complicated, but it's really not at all. Like when you really get into that space, it do take a little bit of work, but as soon as you start bearing some of the workload and shit like that, that's the moment that all possibilities, God in the universe, all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, this motherfucker's on his shit. So now we're gonna help him understand things in the way that it's supposed to be understood. Now you got some real logic and reasoning. Now you got a real man on your team. Now you got real authority and leadership within yourself to lead your emotions and feelings, to back and support and steer you in the right direction, and utilize that as the juice, the flow, the gasoline to take you wherever the fuck you need to go. And you can do damn near anything you want to do now. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, people don't know shit else but seeking external highs. That's exactly right, Moomy. Call this nigga Moomy. 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 All right. They add nothing to the original starting point other than regurgitation and nepotism. Right. Exactly. That's a really good point. So all they're going to do is regurgitate the information of their favorite content creator. And that's where the nepotism aspect of it come in. Oh, I fuck with this person more, or oh, I'm gonna agree with this person more because they have a certain number of likes on their page and they have a certain number of subscribers on their page and they have this many viewers every time they go live, but you only got this many type of viewers whenever you go live and shit like that. So yeah, that's how the nepotism aspect of it would play out. But it play out in reality too. I've broke down videos about this shit in the past. A person would be more prone to agree with somebody else, even if you know more about what you're talking about, just due to this person being in a certain position of having a certain job, being at that job for a certain time frame, having certain experience with certain things and shit like that they actually know about and have seen the proof in the pudding. This person has an LLC, they have a business, they have this or that, you know what I'm saying? Person would much rather agree with this person faster, just because they're playing out the favoritism, the nepotism aspect, because they would rather agree with this person just due to the results, due to what they've been able to accumulate, due to what name and title they've been able to gravitate, due to them being a manager or whatever it may be. You get what I'm saying? But I got videos like that in the past. We've talked about that shit. But good, very good point, Kyrie. That's exactly what be going on. So you know what I'm saying? Even when it break down to the point of medical officials and shit like that. So you could even, if we want to get into the aspect of being Google scholars and always having some paper trail documentation type of shit for things and stuff like that, if we want to get into that aspect, okay, I could go online right now and I could look up an article, right? And it be a scientist who has ran a certain category of experiments on a certain topic, right? And they've ran these experiments, and their experiments led them to a certain conclusion, right? Okay, but this scientist is more of a new scientist. This scientist don't have as many accolades. This scientist don't have as much attention as a lot of other scientists. They've only been in the game for a couple of years or some shit like that. Even if their conclusion, whatever their hypothesis and their experiment that they went through, whatever it led them to, even if that is fucking true and objectively true and in a reality type of sense, another person could find another article online and be viewing both of them, viewing the one that I just spoke about and showed y'all as far as the lesser known scientists developing this concept, and they're also viewing a more well-known scientist who's doing the exact same thing, like a Neil deGrasse Tyson or one of these motherfuckers, Dr. Fauci, some dumbass shit like this. Now that this person is more well-known, they're in a government position, they got certain names and titles, they worked at NASA or some dumbass shit. Now they have an article as well, but they went through the same experiment and it led them to a different conclusion. So even if the person who has more accolades was completely incorrect, and this person who is lesser known is actually way more on point with it, with whatever experiment they went through, 99% of the world would rather agree with this person, even if we as regular normal motherfuckers can easily disprove whatever this person is talking about. 99% of the world is going to go with this person just due to the fact of all the accolades, the shit, you know what I'm saying? The materialism that goes into it. And not only that, they put these people in position with a certain sentiment and have them play out a certain type of energy and have y'all mixed and mingled in a mental psyop anyways, to the point where you would rather agree with this person anyways, just because they cater to your bias in some type of way a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that's exactly what be going on. People, and that's a fucked up thing about it. A person will sit here and argue a talking point with you of some shit that they've never even studied. They read one article online and seen how much this person talk about what they have studied. And a person will sit here and argue with you about this shit and tell you that you're wrong and you don't know what you're talking about just because old fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry, who's a goddamn scientist over here, did this shit and da 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 da. But you didn't even study it yourself. You just read the article that they wrote about their studies. You get what I'm saying? Like the fucking whole world is retarded down here. Even without the support, you still have yourself in all circumstances, catching thoughts and feelings and shit. Yeah, facts. So go, Kyrie, you would probably like my video, how to encapsulate frequencies and vibrations. You know what I'm saying? Since you talking on that type of level, you would probably like my video on how to encapsulate frequencies and vibrations, because that's what we're doing all day. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing all day. You know what I'm saying? And if you a real motherfucker who has went through certain harsh experiences and shit like that, and you have really developed a level of wisdom and experience throughout your life, you will know that these situations brought you to a point, to a conclusion where you realize I don't even need much. When all the way to the point when it come down to physical shit, you will get yourself to a position where you damn near get to the point where you're like, I don't even need nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll start off with that little tidbit. Maybe you don't just want to get your feet wet. Just dip your toes in the water. Don't really want to go all in with your faith and shit. You get to the point where you come to the conclusion like, yeah, I don't need much. You know what I'm saying? But then if you continue on with that shit and still develop more levels of wisdom and experience, then you're going to come to grips like, shit, I don't even need nothing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need nothing. Damn sure don't need nothing from you. You know what I'm saying? damn sure don't need nothing from you. Motherfuckers just be weaker than fuck down here. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers just be weaker than fuck down here. I mean, there ain't all we can do about it is sit on here and tell y'all the truth. That's all we can do. All we can do is sit on here and tell y'all the truth. And if y'all want to get with it, that's on you. Otherwise, you're gonna be in suffering, and you probably gonna be the next person who want to fucking feel like they want to kill themselves and shit. Or you the next person who want to goddamn go and buy a fucking bag of cocaine or some shit, or buy a bag of fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we out this bitch. Y'all take it easy though. We gonna roll out of here. I've had enough now. I've had enough. I've had enough. Thanks for everybody for showing up. Y'all go sub to Jackie and Mooney. You know what I'm saying? Real content creators. That's all we support around here. We don't support no fake shit. Y'all go sub to Dolo too. You know what I'm saying? He got real perspectives as well. Y'all go sub to Dolo as well. Like I was saying, this video had a lot to do with Dolo, but at the same time, I ain't throwing a single rock. I've got the utmost respect for that man. What I don't have respect for is individuals coming into my chat and telling me that that I need to explain myself further, or try to make it seem like I don't understand something just because somebody else viewing the exact same thing in their own perspective. Like, bitch, get the fuck off my channel if that's how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, y'all take it easy. We'll see y'all later. Have a good one.